Okay, let me get this straight. The emergency siren that was for emergencies wasn't turned on. Let's get into this, Scruffy family.
Long term. Long term. We need to get our people back home. I just came from a meeting run by the governor. All these developers were talking about forget the permit process. We're going to build homes, not in Lahaina, and make these homes available. You know what the truth of that is? They were like fast track their development. And they're not fucking helping the people over here. There was not one conversation in this meeting about the people. Every conversation that was had, every developer that came up there and talked about what they could offer was about getting rid of the permits so that they can steal water from our streams, they can fucking fast track westernization development, and forget about the culture and place. That's gonna be our hardest journey in this long road to recovery.
What's going on, Scruffy family? All right, hi nieces and nephews. Check this out. The Hawaii thing was terrible. We all know this. But I think this might have been planned. And the reason why I'm saying this, I think it might have been planned, is because no sirens went off. Emergency. We've been coming out. All the details have been coming out and all this stuff. And the emergency, you know how they have an emergency siren warning?
Do you regret not sounding the sirens?
I do not.
The same one that went off, I don't know if it was last year or the year before. It might have been, well, I know it was in the last 5 years. But it went off by accident for a fake incoming missile attack on Hawaii. Yeah. But it didn't go off when the wildfires happened.
Do you regret not sounding the sirens?
I do not. The public is trained to seek higher ground in the event that the siren is sounded. In fact, on the website of the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency, the following guideline is provided. If you are in a low-lying area near the coastline, evacuate to high grounds, inland or vertically to the fourth floor and higher of a concrete building. Alerts may also come in the form of a wireless emergency alert. Had we sounded the siren that night, we're afraid that people would have gone Mauka. And if that was the case, then they would have gone into the fire. And so that is the reason why our protocol has been to use WEA and EAS. By the way, I should also note that there are no sirens Mauka or on the mountainside where the fire was spreading down. So even if we sounded the siren, it would not have saved those people on the mountainside, Mauka.
Even though it's supposed to be for, natural disasters, things like that. But it also on their website, if you go to their website, it says it includes wildfires. It didn't go off. In fact, it's not only did it not go off, but the guy who runs the siren, he was actually decided against. He actually decided against turning it on. Are you serious? I'm thinking a couple of thousand people at least, even though there's a few more that are missing or stuff like that, but I'm thinking at least a couple of thousand people could have been saved. Let's see. Now, if you look at a lot of the videos that are out there, it seems to me that the fire seemed to strike in an unusually interesting part. It seemed to strike where all of the people that were there, it seemed to hit all the poor areas. The rich ones seemed to be still intact. Still intact. Now, here's the other thing. From what I understand, some of the people that had their house still standing, they're getting evicted. After this disaster, they're going to evict them. So now, does it seem to me, does it seem to you or anybody, is this a land grab of all the richest people? Because it didn't hit Oprah's 1,000-acre property. Paris Hilton was able to go out and vacation while this was going on. Is this something that we need to know about this? Now, the fire companies who were asking for water to fight the fire, they wouldn't release water to them. They weren't allowed. They decided against giving water to fight a fire to the fire company. So now, not a land grab? Then when you have your president who sat there and did what? Did what? When he heard about it? You know what I find interesting? His almost his no comment was reminiscent of something. And I hate to say this, it was reminiscent of George Bush's reaction when he was reading that book in that kindergarten class or whatever it was, when the Twin Towers came down. Did you see him rush? Did you see him for this disaster? No, I didn't. So now, if you can couple those responses with how things happened, and then what got offered? Because I'm pretty sure y'all know by now. I've already done a little video on it. You can go back and check it. But Joe Biden offered them $700 per household in emergency relief fund. Are we serious? I mean, really? This is what you offer these people? These people who just lost everything? Not just everything. They've lost their families, their loved ones, their houses, and the ones who didn't lose their houses and lost all of the above are getting ready to lose their houses. So tell me family, what do you think this is? Go ahead and check the news. Because you know Uncle Scruff usually doesn't sit here and just make this stuff up. Even though people like to get on here and tell me I'm a liar. Check. Because I don't think I've lied about one thing. And matter of fact, everything's quite provable. But this is Uncle Scruff. What do we think is going on here? Slow responses to no responses to now the police chief who didn't respond on time, who held off on making sure the sirens and all the people were there, who were blocking people from coming in to help, mysteriously is resigned. We don't think that's a bit? He's resigned too? What is going on here? People, what is going on here? I don't believe this was a naturally occurring event here. I'm not going to point the fingers, but I believe what's going to happen is the government, us, we're going to be saddled with the cleanup, but you're not going to get any of the benefit of the cleanup because you're getting ready to send the people that live there away from there. Why does it seem like it's becoming prime real estate for the wealthy? Let's say it that way. So, Uncle Scruff, I'm out. Stay vigilant. Keep your eyes open. Because I'm telling you, there's a lot to come down the pipeline on this one. 1, take it easy, Scruffy family.